and Education meeting to order. I want to thank everyone for making it here. And hope you guys had a great day.
Hey, Ms. Granderson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you repeat what you said? Because you didn't tell me to turn it on, so I had to do
Oh,
it while
I'm
you were
sorry.
talking. Okay,
I'm so sorry.
no problem.
Yes, you can start. We're gonna start. You ready, Miss Lyons?
It's on already. It just only got part of what you said.
Okay, so it's 7:40 p.m. and I'm calling the meeting to order. My name is Gail Grandison. I'm the chair of the Youth and Education Committee. Today is Wednesday, April 12th, and I want to welcome everyone to our monthly meetings. Great to see you. I just want to start off just reminding us about our norms and to let everyone know that this is a welcoming space and that, you know, we welcomes your opinions and ideas. We want you to step up, say what you have to say, but then step back, give space to someone else to speak. We may not know it all, but together, I think as a group, you guys are a wealth of knowledge, which I appreciate. I want you to show up and participate in your best effort to be your best self. There are no stupid questions, there are no wrong answers. We're all here to learn. Respect each and every person's opinion. I'm going to off. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to ask you to please unmute and identify yourself. I'm going to start to my right, Miss McCain Brown. I'm calling your name, but please identify yourself, whether you're on the board or committee. And one thing I just want to hear, give me some energy. One thing that you're grateful for today.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Martha McLean Brown, committee member. I'm grateful for life and the energy that I have at my stage of the game. So I'm very thankful that I'm able to be here and meet with everyone on the committee this evening.
Thank you. Next, Miss Backerdine.
Good evening, Joan Bakardine. I am a committee member, board member, and Ms. McCain Brown took mine, so I'll just echo hers. I'm grateful for life.
Yes.
Amen.
Blessings to that. Mr. Tate.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. George Tate, committee member, board member, and I'm grateful every time I wake up. That's it.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Tate. Mr. Shelton. I'm just seeing the name Sheldon on there. Okay, let's move to Timothy.
Hello, good evening, committee member. My name is Timothy. I'm grateful for another day.
Awesome. So thank you. My gratefulness is just like everyone. I welcome another day to wake up, you know, see life, see my family. Very much grateful. Miss Lyons, could you introduce yourself, please, to the group?
Nadine Lyons, community assistant.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move ahead. Let's see, we don't have a quorum to do the approval of the minutes. So we're going to skip that. And we're going to move forward. So we have a couple, I'm sorry, I'm going to give the chair's report. And I'm going to start off. We do have a couple of guest speakers tonight. I've asked them to come on between 7:45 and 8 o'clock, just so that it gives people time to get on and for us to get moving. And there are two ladies. One of them is Rolanda Telsford Hastic. She's a Senior Director of Community Development at the YWCA. And the other is Shaw Bernard. She's the President of Strut Models. And they both have summer programs that are going to be happening. I think the YWCA, that is free, and it is open to, the Brooklyn residents, I think to the 5 boroughs. So I want to hear and ask them to share what their programs are about. So we have our events coming up. Cops and Kids is scheduled for May 10th. It's going to be at the Madison Boys and Girls Club on Bedford. More details are going to be rolled out around that, but just to let you guys know that I confirm a date with Mr. King for May 10th. It's going to be at 4 p.m. and that is the same day that we have a committee meeting. So that day we will not meet at 7:30. I ask you if you can kindly attend that meeting. I do understand that for some people it might be a bit early, but it's around the time. It's around the time that we usually that they usually have it, because we try to capture the kids as they come out of school. The spelling bee is scheduled for May 13th. I would say that we are still trying to confirm the location, but more than likely it will be at the Winthrop campus. More details to follow. I need at least 3 judges. So if anyone is interested, please, you can let me know tonight or you can send me an email, but we need 3 judges on the panel. The CTE forum, we have a date of May 31st. We are waiting to hear if we will get downstate, SUNY downstate, where we usually have the board meetings. If not, we will, there's another location, another possible location. And we will let you know more about that moving forward. Last night I attended the Transportation Committee had a forum at Erasmus Hall. It was attended by people from the MTA, Department of Transportation, NYPD. It was really very interesting. And the part of it was about the Brooklyn bus network redesign. So what the redesign is about, it's about expanding services, day service to provide more travel opportunities, so customers can catch more buses without needing to consult the schedule. And there are modifications to some routes that they're proposing to fill in gaps. Now, this is happening in our community. So it will, one of the things that was mentioned is that, this will affect seniors in a major way. Now, this will affect people depending on what the MTA plans to do, whether they're moving bus stops or they're just adding more routes and stuff. We have to think also about our kids going to and from school. We live in what we used to call a 2-fare zone, some of us. So, like me, myself, I have to take the bus then to get to the train. So there's going to be more information around this. There are outdoor open houses. There's pop-up events, and it's something called a Brooklyn Bus Network Redesign, a MetroCard mobile sales pop-up events. So I have to pay for what I'm going to do is scan it and send a copy of it. There are 2 upcoming redesign pop-ups. They're all in our area. April 25th at Brooklyn College, and April 26th at the Church Avenue. And both of these are going to be by the subway stations. Okay. So if you're interested and want to learn more about this, I would suggest to get involved. If you possibly can, attend one of those events, just to hear how this will affect you. There's also some issues around ride shares and bike. You know how you see those, the city bikes, in the neighborhood. So, DOT and Lyft are working in our neighborhoods to provide these services. But the thing about this is that these things were brought into our neighborhoods without even asking, right? Um, so I would also suggest that you attend the transportation meetings just to get clarity around what is happening. Let your voices be heard because these are in your neighborhood where they put the bike racks. Right now, there are 31 proposed sites in our community to set up these bikes. Some of them are going to be on the street where it takes away parking, and some of them will be in sidewalks. Some maybe will be in commercial spaces, but there's also the possibility that some of them might be in residential spaces. So you may walk out your house and see a whole set of bikes on the sidewalk or what. Don't have all the details, but I suggest that you get involved just to hear what DOT is planning and how it may affect you as a community person or even a home resident. Okay. We know that graduation is approaching. We're now April, May, June. School ends at the end of June, and we will be giving out certificates. You know, the schools usually ask us to prepare certificates in different service areas. I'm going to put a suggestion out there. You guys can let me know your comments. You can, text me or email, or if we have time after this meeting, we can go back to it. But just to see if you feel that the education committee should ask for, like, give out their own certificate of, for civil engagement or whatever, but just make it our own. Usually the premise is that the schools have these various categories and they would ask us to write, the certificates. They have chosen amount of students who they want to get, best civil engagement or community service or something like that. But do you feel that community board should be giving out a certificate where it is us basically asking them to send us maybe a few students and tell us a bit about them and maybe choosing one or two to do it. I have thought about scholarships, which is something I would love to do or see us do in the future as a board on its own. But that's another set of details to work through. Some upcoming events. So this Saturday on the 15th, we have, let me pull up the flyer here. Assemblywoman Monique Chandler Waterman, she's having Youth Entrepreneur and Small Business Conference, Spring into Financial Literacy, Empowering the Next Generation of Leaders. It's going to be at 905 Winthrop Street, Saturday, April 15th. It's at 1 p.m. The doors open at 12:30. Also on Saturday, Councilwoman Farah Lewis, in partnership with Elite Learners and Community Board 17, is a spring extravaganza. It's going to be in Patergate Park. That's between Albany and Foster. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it's a day of activities for the kids. You can win prizes. There's an egg hunt, potato sack race, musical chairs, much more. So asking you guys to come out and to support our elected officials in these various spaces. Also on Saturday is a really busy day, from 9 to 5 at God Battalion's of Battalion of Prayer Church, which is on the corner of Schenectady and Linden. They have a health fair. You can drop by if needed. And also at Boys and Girls High School on Fulton Street, the Adelaide Sanford Institute has a conference, the Joy of Parenting Conference, and that is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're interested in any of these events, I ask you, please feel free. I'll send you the information to go out, support or elected officials and our community in the various spaces. And that ends my report. I see that our guest speaker is on, so I'm going to move ahead with that. So one of the things on last week, Tuesday, the Commerce Committee had a breakfast networking event. It was really great. I attended, and I wanted to get the message out about SYEP to the members. Because I'm sorry, not to the members, to the business community, because I think it's really important that they understand that how SYEP functions and that they can hire our young people in the community and that this is paid through DYCD. And while I was there, I met some really amazing people and I've asked two of them to join us. So before I introduce Ms. Hastert, Mr. Tate, I saw your hand was up. Did you have a question?
Yes, I have a question that's regarding when you were listing the different plans that we have. I think you said CTE, something like that.
Yes, CTE Forum, Career Technical Education Forum.
Oh, okay, thank you. No, I just wanted to refresh my mind as to what the acronym was for.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, my manners. I should have asked, does anyone have any other questions in response to what I said? Okay. So one of our guest speakers this evening is Ms. Rolanda Telsford Hastic. She's the Senior Director of Community Development at the YWCA here in Brooklyn. And if you guys don't know, that's located downtown, not far from the Barclays Center on the, yes, by the Barclays Center, I'm sorry. YWCA has a wide variety of programs. And as Ms. Telsford Hastic was talking to me, I was intrigued. So I asked her to join us today. I know that we have a limited amount of time with her. So I'm going to ask her to please give us an overview of your programs and let us know how, as a board, we can work with you to get this information out more.
Thank you. And thank you, Community Board 17 board members. Thank you for inviting me today. So the YWCA Brooklyn is the organization that I work for, and the YWCA is one of the largest and oldest women's organizations in the United States. Our building is located a block away from the Atlantic Terminal and the Barclays Center. We are the women's building of not only Brooklyn, but of New York City. The YWCA is different than the YMCA. We're two separate entities and organizations. Our building was built in 1927 with a mission to eliminate racism and empower women and girls and to promote peace, dignity, and justice for all. So we are all stewards in our community, and the YWCA Brooklyn is one of those entities that's always available for use in all districts and in all New York City. We have a 180,000 square foot building. We take up a full city block located downtown Brooklyn. We have over 300 units of permanent low-income housing for women and men, because we don't discriminate, but it's a permanent housing, 300 units. We also have community spaces, right, that are accessible to the public. So I heard there's a need for a board meeting. You're welcome to come to our building and have a board meeting at no cost, because that's what we do at the YWCA. We support community stewards like ourselves. But we have also a 600 seated Art Deco style theater that's housed inside of the YWCA. So that's one of our spaces, and we have other community spaces. Before COVID, we served 25,000 constituents in New York City with our community center services. Okay. So we have this building with all these women that live in this building and some men, because we don't discriminate. And we provide trauma-informed care services to the people that live in the building. Because who lives at a YWCA? These are people who are formerly homeless. 91% of the population are trauma survivors. Some of them are just can't pay the highly gentrified rental income that New York City has, right? So we're kind of like capped at a 60%, 80% AMI for people that live in our building. So you have to be low income to even be qualified to live in our building. But once you live in our building, you can live there forever and you can make as much money as you want. The rent doesn't get that high. Once you're in, you're in, right? We own our building, so we get to do whatever we want, right? So a couple of things that what we do to service the community. We have an amazing college access and leadership development program that I'm one of the founding mothers of. I work closely with my CEO. She helps me get the money. I bring in the girls. This is the deal we make, right? So we have an amazing college access and leadership empowerment program that serves 44 high schools in New York City. The girls are, what we do and what we do best is we help high school girls get into college from the DOE, and we help them to get into college with little to no debt. So we also aim to ensure that they go to a 4-year university and not a 2-year. We've had our first graduating cohort in 2020 and 2021. And so we know what we're doing has 100% success because our outcomes in that is 100% success. These girls are graduating college, graduating on time, graduating at the top of their classes in college as they go through our program. And when they come out, they have a really good salary. They're not starting at a low base skill salary. They're starting at a larger scale skill-based salary. So we know that our program model works. I will be sharing some of our materials and things like that. You know, today's just my little elevator speech because you guys have a full agenda, but I can send you all details and information about our free, the program is for free. It's a free college access program. And again, we have high school girls go to 4-year universities. Now, when I say girls, do we help boys? We help some boys too, right? I don't like to turn anyone away that is determined to go to college. So there's an immersive side of the program, but there's also a community side of the program where I get to, you know, take boys along with some of the things that we do, right? Which is, you know, they can't get like our $20,000 scholarships that I have for the girls, but I have a list of over 100 scholarships for boys and girls that they can have access to. So we do things like a large scale community night for scholarships. And so the boys also can get into things like that as well. Any child that is motivated to go to college, we will try our best to help them get there with little to no debt. Okay. Another one of our programs that we offer is our ESOL program. And so this is for immigrant women specifically, because we are, again, the women's building. This class, we don't take men. We don't take men for this class. But in this class, we do a career-based curriculum. Because, you know, around 2015, 2016, when Trump kind of came into office, the immigrant community was under attack. So we were like, how we're going to help immigrants even more. So we devised a plan. And said we want to do an ESOL program, but what does that look like? Because all of our programs are around economic sustainability and mobility. So we said, well, let's do English learning, but with pathways to citizenship and also pathways into the workforce. So we do some workforce development with them. We do some know your rights training with them. And we help build this woman into whatever she desires to be here in the States, right? And we want them to be safe. So we also have that program, and it's for free. We serve, let me go back a little bit, the girls program, we serve annually 200 girls in our program. In the immigrant services program, we serve about 130 women annually in that program. And of course, that list grows every year. But annually, we take new cohorts of 200 girls for our college access program and a new cohort of 130 students for our ESOL program. Currently, we are still recruiting for 9th and 10th graders for our Girls College Access program. And there's open enrollment for the immigrant community. So even if we surpass 130, we serve who we get. Okay, so we have those two programs. We do have a community center that Community Board 17 can have your in-person board meetings there. And I'll do that for you for free. Okay, all right, you don't have to pay a dime. All I need you is to help me disseminate the information on these magnificent programs that our building has for this Brooklyn community. Okay, so that's it. Remember, we're the women's building. We're here. We're all in this work together. We're champions for equity in the spaces like you too. And everything that we do, we try to do for free, except the housing. They got to pay rent. Okay, you have to pay your rent to live in the building. For the housing program, people got to pay their rent, but they're not paying a lot of money. We have studio apartments and SROs. Okay, we don't have like 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. We have studios and SROs, but it's a permanent housing model that I'm trying to get people to look at because we know it works and it can save the city a lot of money too. So it's a housing model that I think should really be duplicated because we know that it works. I would love for you guys to have your next meeting at my building, take you on a tour too. You could see and experience the building for yourself. So that's it. Gail, how did I do? That was 5 minutes.
You, you did great. Listen, I'm going on your time.
I
know
said
you
5
tricky, and I
minutes. This is
respect
a
that.
long meeting. And
I
nobody got
respect
the
that.
camera on. I feel like a teacher right now, like, what are we doing? But it's all good.
My
But
camera's
this
on. My camera's on.
Are your cameras on? Let me see if
Yeah.
this camera's on. Because I see
Hey.
anybody.
That's Miss Brackett.
Oh, okay, I see you. I see.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Joan.
How are
doing?
you? Nice to see
Okay.
you.
So the YWCA, when you think of domestic violence services, think about us. When you think of anything with girls, think about us. Education services, think about us. If you want to have your board meetings or you want to have a specialized event, circle back to us, where we have a huge building built in 1926 here to serve you as well.
Interesting.
I appreciate that. You know, a couple of things. I knew about the YWCA and stuff like that, but I forgot about the housing part.
Right.
That you guys do offer that service. And, you know, in our community, these new developments that are going up are being priced out the ceiling, right? And, a lot of, our people are being displaced. And it's interesting. I don't mean I don't want to send like a flock of people because I don't know how much space you have, but I haven't seen the facility. I would love to come to see what the facility looked like, but I'm wondering if we have a family or maybe a parent, or a single person or somebody, that they need some place to stay because, due to rent or whatever the reasons, is it conducive to send them to the YWCA as opposed to sending them to a shelter to say, let's see if we can get you in the shelter? Because they'll still be working and stuff, but just don't have the income to pay for a 1 bedroom $3,000.
I know. It's
You
ridiculous.
know?
So one of the things that we do if say our building is full for whatever reason, right? Say we don't have the space to support a family, a single person. I mean, we only do singles in my building because there's not a lot of people. There's more housing available for families than there is just for single people. So our model is for singles only. But we have a plethora of partners in the space of housing because we've been doing housing for over 100 plus years, right? We have other places that we can make referrals to, right? That we could say, okay, this family came in, we can advocate for this family too. Okay. But our building is a single model,
Singles. Okay.
but we do have resources, a plethora of resources to share out to people that cannot necessarily be housed at our facility.
Okay. So there's no age limit to who can apply for the housing. Is there?
They're older. You just have to be an adult.
An adult?
Yeah.
Because then I'm thinking like maybe college age kids or so, you know.
Yeah. You
if-
just
if
at least
they're
have to have a year lease with us.
a year at least. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because we're a permanent
Mhm.
housing model.
You're permanent. Okay. So it's
Transitional or supportive, right? Even though the YWCA model looks supportive, we do trauma informed care services. We are helping people heal from their traumas. We do have survivors of DV. So we have knitting classes, yoga. We got all the services. We have 140 seniors in our building aging in place. So they don't have
Wow.
families. We're their family. So we take care of those people. So we make
Wow.
sure they have their doctor's appointments, that they're, healing, moving, and still being well taken care of in dignity as they age.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Nobody's
And
doing that for them.
that's good to know for the seniors
Yeah.
also because
So if there's a senior, a single senior, because sometimes you got a single senior in your community, you don't know where to place them and stuff like that.
yeah.
You could call us. If we can't take them, I know somebody who would.
Okay. Miss
And it wouldn't
McAfee
be
has
like
a
shelter
question.
based,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
shelter based.
So I have been to the YWCA for many events. Actually, you allowed someone to host a fashion show
Okay.
in your space. So I do recommend the space, but just trying to understand logistics in terms of the community center. Is that the one on the first floor to the right,
So
or
we
is there
call
a
it the
different
so-
location?
Yeah, so we call it the Social Justice Community Center, and in that center, it has 4 spaces, actually 5, but one of the spaces is closed down. We have a roof, guys.
I know, I've been there.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
roof is nice, but we want our roof back. We're not
Yeah.
doing that no more. The staff needs a
Okay.
place to eat. Like, we're not doing the roof
Yeah.
for now. Okay, the roof
Okay.
will probably
Okay.
be released maybe next year or something. We like our
Okay.
roof. We want our roof, so we
Yes.
took our roof back. But there is 2 meeting room spaces that can hold up to 40 people comfortably, 25 seating, 40 people comfortably. We have a gallery space that seats 100, almost about the same with the community center, about 100 plus people for the gallery space. And we've had anything from cocktail dinners to repasses to weddings to anything like that. That's like a really nice space. Even gallery shows, even fashion shows could be
Mhm.
in that space. And then we have the community room, which seats about 100, 160, I think is the capacity for that
I
space.
think I've been. So is that what you consider the community center, or is
Yeah.
it the entire thing?
All 4 spaces is a
All
social
4 spaces.
justice center, but that is the community room.
Okay.
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 Like right
Okay.
now we're
Then it's
having,
probably the
but we're
community room
having
that I'm thinking of.
prep. Yep,
Sorry.
1 more week to do your taxes. We got free
Okay.
tax prep Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think it's almost over. Tax time is almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
Monday the 18th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Yes. Yes, definitely I would love to. I would love to move an event or so down to the Y. I know I'd probably get pushed back, like it's out of community, it's out of the community and it's so far and I know. Right? New women. Yeah.
Remember, right?
Mm.
So that was the first one, but that they don't have their building anymore. They're like in a corporate office. We're the last one with our building outside. There's also a YWCA of Queens, but they serve an Asian community. They're like in the Asian community. But the Brooklyn location, we serve everybody. We're like a one-stop shop because we have everything in the building.
Okay.
Okay.
So we go beyond districts and community boards.
Okay, no, I will schedule with you a time to come
Yep.
take a tour. If any of the committee members want to come, you know, come along or what, it's an open invitation on my part. One other question I want to ask you, when you talk about the college assets and leadership, how does a young person get involved? What's the process?
So there's an application process, of course. The requirements are this girl is motivated to go to college. She's low income, and that could be determined by if she's getting free lunch or not.
Okay.
And I would want at least a 80 average, like a C. I'm not looking for the top of the class, but I want to at least have like a C student, C plus. If she's in 11th grade, she has to have at least a C. If she's in 10th grade, I could work and build her up.
So the grades are from what, 9 or 10?
Yeah, all of high school, 9th through 12th grade.
Oh, you did say high school.
9th
Yes,
through
yes,
12th
yes.
grade, we also have girls in college. So we also have a persistence model. Because once they get in college, we're not going to leave them. We're going to make sure they graduate on time, right?
Okay.
And so there's a persistence model we have as well. And so even after they graduate, have they landed a job? I'm not an agency, but I'm making sure that by the time they graduate, they might want to work for one of us. You know, if I have some money, you know, they'll work for one of us or one of our partners. You know, we have 2 boards. We have a philanthropic board for this college access program. All they do is raise money to pay those financial gaps in college. That's all they do. And so I could dip into a professional network that can help them land a job.
Okay, awesome. Are there any summer camps that's held during the summer
Yes,
for?
we're 360, you know, 12-month program. We're a forever program because we got to work and so the girls got to work too, right? So we have a summer, spring, summer, fall model. If you're a community steward, you're working 12 months in the year. Doesn't stop.
Oh, okay. But when I say summer, a summer program, I meant for like younger kids, middle school, maybe elementary. Is there a summer camp?
So I don't have a summer camp, but I do have partners that have summer camp. So you can always, you know, again, we're a resource because there's programs like Digital Girl that works with middle school students specifically. There are other programs that I know that works with middle school specifically. There's a program in our building. I think CAE are working with middle schools specifically. And so we also have 9 other community partners that are kind of congruent to our mission. Some of them also have youth services. And so what we can't do or provide, you know, for the younger ones, we have partners that could provide those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Question.
Right. Yes, Miss Mull.
So, if a young lady has difficulty in certain subject areas in high school, do you provide any kind of a help?
Yeah, absolutely. So the girls who are in our program, we have free tutoring for them.
Right.
We pay the people that we pay work with more affluent students, and we were strategic in getting Brownstone tutors specifically because we know the population that they work with. So our tutors are paid very well. They're the best of the best, and they help bring our students up. Even in terms of the writing, right? So in the college process, you have your college essay, your resume writing and stuff like that. We have people who write currently for Dr. Oz and Oprah. They're getting the best of the best. They're getting the best of the best in writing, and we do the scholarship with them. We do tutoring with them. We address the social emotional needs. One of my girls, you know, she has some mental health issues. We address food security. If the family don't have food, we have a whole pantry that the students could come and take food. So we're securing that this young girl and her family have what they need to the best of our ability to help go to school and learn.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
did you send Do the schools know about this?
So this is my purpose of coming to this meeting. I started this program 9 years ago because I needed this program when I was in high school, right?
Okay.
And so I didn't see a model like this existing. I saw some that kind of like cut off and stuff. So currently, before COVID, I was working with 11 partner schools. After COVID, the work's just difficult, more difficult. I work with 5 after COVID. Currently now I have 19 school partners. My
Okay.
purpose of coming here too is to expand. I need new relationships, new principles. You know, there's been a whole egress in the DOE too. So,
Yes.
you know, help me make those connections to help more
Okay.
girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Anyone else? I saw I'm not sure maybe if you spoke about this, but Miss Barkadine had put in the chat, how do they give back? Are they
Oh,
required to do some kind of community service?
yeah. Community service hours in every way. We want them to be advocates and leaders on things that are important to them. So either they're, you know, speaking at, you know, okay, for example, yesterday we took them to, they were out of school. You know, the kids were out of school. So
Right.
yesterday we took a bunch of them to the city council slated meeting, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
they can observe the meeting. We had the speaker of the city council, Adrian Adam, announce them on the floor so they could feel good. She did it twice. We had elected officials come over like Barron and, you know, Rita Joseph, who's on chair of education, and Farrah Lewis that you spoke about in this meeting, come over and greet the girls. The girls came in, I dragged them there. They were like, oh, we don't want to go. You're going to go. By the time they got out, they were telling their friends, oh, we met this person. You know, you just got to bring them to the water, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then now they think, now some of them want to run for government. They want to write their city council person. They want to, yeah. So you give them the exposure and you make them community stewards. We have a back to school event that we partner with the Atlantic Terminal every year. They'll be tabling, they'll be on the planning committee for that event, right? So we make them a part of the process in our community development work, in our advocacy work. I would like all of my girls to be working in every elected official office all over the place. I would like my girls to be working and having some experiences on your community board. Listen, I'll pay them.
Hey,
You
I'll
need
take you
somebody
up
else
on
for
that.
social media. You need somebody for your social media. Let's build
Yes.
up some skills. Let's see what
Oh
they
my
got.
goodness.
We need a
Yes.
photographer for a couple of our events.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So send me what you need. I might have
Yes.
a photographer. Okay?
Oh,
Okay.
Because
you just made my day.
this is what I'm saying. Let's raise these kids up,
Yes.
right? Together.
Awesome.
So together we achieve more. Let's raise them up. So yes, we give them exposure. Everything that we're doing as a social justice organization. Oh yes, they will be doing too. I'm an Emmy Award winning documentarian too. Just saying. But it's really their Emmy. Okay. One of the girls came because we do voting. I'm big on voting, right? And who's over you and making the decisions for your community. So one girl came in and was like, oh, my vote don't count. Oh, from her saying her vote don't count, we did a whole project on why it's important. The same girl that said her vote don't count, we did a documentary on voting day. It was primary day in Brooklyn. We went to like different sites in Brooklyn, asked people why you vote versus people who didn't go to vote, why you're not voting today. And it won an Emmy.
Okay.
It won an Emmy. It
Wow.
won an Emmy in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Okay.
Okay.
We didn't get to go to the thing, we had to do the virtual thing, but the girls won an Emmy just from that one question. So these are the kinds of things that we do with our girls. We always want to elevate their voices in a very authentic way because they are the next leaders that we are trying to build. We call them YW leaders because I know I got the next Oprah. I know I do.
Of course.
Fantastic. This is Miss McCain Brown. I just want to commend you for the work that you're doing with the young ladies. And if you can put your information in the chat, I would really appreciate it, either phone number, email, whatever, because I'd like to contact you also.
Okay.
Well, yes, a former principal and still working with teachers, etc. I would really like to talk to you about those things and what you're doing with the young ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So there is an application process that the young ladies would have to fill up in order to become a member of that or of your organization, right?
Well, we don't do a membership, but she will be in the program, part of the program. And like I said, I don't like turning any child that's motivated,
Right.
right? So I created two umbrellas. There's an immersive side. Some things I report to certain funders, but then there's a community side, right?
Okay.
Whereas they get to do a bunch of other things. So like the slated meeting yesterday would be considered a community side of the event. Any girl could have went with me. I only wanted to take 10 because it was only me and some other people. I didn't want to take a whole bunch of kids, right? But things like that is first come, first serve. Anybody could go. If I'm taking them to Albany, right, for like a lobby day, or, to the last time we took them to Albany, we had them meet with the governor's executive women in his chambers. And we did like a career day with them. And then they got to go and see different legislators and stuff. I took about 40 girls with me on that trip. Anybody, first come, first serve, could go. So
Okay.
things like that. We do community-wide events and initiatives with the girls that other girls and boys can attend. Their graduation is coming up. I know they want, a graduation thing. So we're going to do, a cap decorating thing. The boys could come to that. Anybody could get their cap decorated. We'll buy the materials, come and decorate your caps.
Okay.
Things like that.
Awesome. Well, whew, you left me with so much to think about.
It's a lot.
So
We do,
much. And I
well, we're
think,
here. And again, we do so much more. I'm gonna share
yes,
with you all. My email is in there. It's in a text. But Gail, I'll send you everything.
yes,
Okay.
please. And I will call on you about those, kids with a social media experience.
Listen,
I
let's
know,
put them to work. I had
yes,
this girl sitting in my office today, and I was like, just go make a flyer. I told her make a happy birthday flyer. Go do something. Okay. We
yes,
gotta get them out. We gotta build some skills. And I want them to be pushed. I don't want them, doing bitty stuff. I want to push them.
push them.
Okay.
No, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to help meet our kids where they are and then elevate them further. Elevate them as much as we can and let them see, what this world has to offer. So I will definitely, I know our communication chair
Yeah.
was asking for some help. So I'm going to tell her I found you some help
Yeah.
in getting our newsletter up
They
and
do
running.
that stuff in 2.5 seconds. These kids are techie babies.
Yes, they are. And as Miss Backerdine said, taking the pictures at the various events,
And I got girls in
and
college too who are communications majors. They're coming back for the summer. I may not be able to pay them. You may be able to pay them, or they just might want to get the experience for their resumes.
Do you also do SYEP or?
So I have my own kids.
Okay. Oh, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I
Just
have my
asking.
own kids. I'm trying to get them out there. But I do have all of them apply for SYEP. And I've
Okay.
spoken to SYEP students a couple of times. At Maris College, like when you guys had the forums with them, when you gather them together. Because I was an SYEP girl back in the day. 250 Broadway Housing Authority started
All
my
right.
journey.
Nice.
Yeah, started my journey. But no, I'm not taking SYEP because I have my own kids. I'm trying to get them out.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm a big push on that. You heard me last week. I'm a big push. Get our kids, there's that money, get our kids out there working,
Yeah.
get them off the streets, keep them safe. But I do appreciate you taking the time, much longer than anticipated, and you said, but you have a really great program.
Yeah.
And I definitely will be taking advantage of. I would love to take advantage of the space
I
to
got you.
do something there.
I got you.
And I want to help you get this program out. Now, we don't have a lot of high schools in our community. We mainly have a lot of elementary and middle schools more so.
Mm.
But for those schools, that is great. I'll get them out. Also,
But again, also like Center for Anti-Violence Education is in my building. They cater to that community. So I'll send you
okay.
some things for, again, if you tell me your need, if you tell me what you got in your district, the Y is here to support your work too. Okay.
Yes. I also would love to connect you with Detective Barry.
Mhm.
She has for the 6-7 precinct, a whole slew of young kids that her and the other community affairs
Great.
members there work with, and her program has now gone citywide.
Great.
So having some of these different spaces would be awesome for her to connect up with you.
Mhm.
So yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And we
yes,
have a
yes,
lot of
yes,
like
yes,
speak outs and forums and just
yes,
acts.
yes.
You know,
I
we
have
have
yes in my
listen,
heart.
we have access, guys. Listen, I got Sony Music now, one of our corporate funders, like
Okay.
locked and loaded. I was just speaking to the woman that runs Rihanna and Magic Johnson's foundation. I was like, where are you based out? She was like, I'm in LA. I was like, if I had a girl in LA, I would send her to you. But we have access, okay? All
Yes.
forms of, corporate, government, we have
So,
access.
so I do have one final question. Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, great. Specific. So in that vein about mentors, do you have a mentorship program embedded within what you do?
We do. So
Okay.
I'm also the board president of an organization called Black Women for Black Girls,
Mm,
which provides mentorship, and also they also give them money to go to college.
mhm,
They're matched with not only executive women, but leaders of women
mhm,
who want to invest back into girls.
mhm.
So
Okay.
if you want some information about Black Women for Black Girls as well, I would give you that. I think they're having a college shower in June in the building. And so we try to combat teenage pregnancy by having college showers, right?
Yeah.
Um, Taking something
Normalize.
negative to
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
into a positive.
Yeah.
And we get the girl everything that she needs to go to college for her dorm room. They specifically work with girls who are going away to school, but we do have a mentorship program, and then also we partner with Susan Taylor, who has
Mhm,
a larger mentorship program too. She
mhm.
now I helped her, start off her Brooklyn chapter, and
Nice.
so yeah, and then we're mentors too. I'm a
You know,
mentor.
Miss
Awesome.
Bernadine, you know who would be great to connect her with also? The Leadership Academy, the God Squad.
The God Squad. Yeah.
Yes,
You know
yes.
Pastor Monroe's.
Monroe's. Do
I
you know?
do, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course you do.
Yes.
Come on.
God Squad. Who
Come
doesn't
on,
know the God
Rolanda.
Squad?
Yes, you know
Right.
God Squad.
But they
Yeah.
have a program, Leadership Academy, where um they recently graduated, I think it was
75.
40, 75, that's
75.
right. Young people,
Mhm.
because it's growing. Last year it wasn't that much. It was probably half of that, and this year the numbers have increased. But I think that you guys partnering together would be awesome.
Great.
Awesome. So I would reach out to
This is actually
one of
Pastor
them.
Hines now, but
Yes,
just to
Pastor
get you like
Hines.
to get your head around who the God Squad is, but you've engaged
Mhm.
with the God Squad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So that's another where you can
That's
probably
good to know. I didn't
recruit.
know they had that youth umbrella.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. They have a youth
Yeah, they
component.
they went to so I was in Albany for caucus and all of them came to Albany on Saturday for
And I,
yeah, it was it was amazing.
well, I would love to do that because something in 2025, I'm kind of building it now
Yeah.
to start doing. I want to bring an expo, like a youth expo to Brooklyn, like not the Javits Center, but like a youth expo. And I'm kind of brokering a deal now with the Barclays Center. You guys get how to
Nice.
press, stuff, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's more like 2025. So it's good to start, collecting and see who possibly we want to partner with for that too. because that's going to be a 3-year contract with the Barclays.
Okay.
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 Nice.
And it's an expo for
Awesome.
so that the kids know what resources are out there for them.
Yeah, the community board
Yes.
there's another community board close to 17 that also does that. They did that on Monday. They had theirs. So it's something that the concept is a known concept, but
Mm-hmm.
the scale that you're talking about,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
mm-hmm. And we have our own big old arena right there. We should be having our
That's
own
right.
youth expos there. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, we got to go to Manhattan to the Javits Center. We could have it
Right.
right in Brooklyn.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate
Food for
you
thought.
taking the time. And you can tell your granddaughter, Miss Grandison, said she's sorry if she took away too much of your time.
Yeah, you guys are lucky I fed her already.
Yeah. Mr. Tate, I see your hand.
Yes, that was a beautiful presentation.
We can't hear you. Can
Can
you guys hear Mr. Tate?
Can you hear me?
Very, very softly, Mr. Tate.
See what's going on.
Mr. Tate?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, as I mentioned, it was a nice presentation, and I love the work that you're doing over there. My question was a simple one. Basically, is this like a citywide program, or is it for have any geographical limitations? You know, for the girls,
It's citywide.
citywide. Okay. You know, because my daughter is a principal, which is a principal in Manhattan. So I just wanted to, in case I give her the information, but I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to assume, you know. So
It's citywide.
okay.
I'm
Mhm.
actually trying to have like a do a go into the Bronx,
Yes.
create a, like work with the borough president, maybe have something so the constituents in the Bronx could be served, because the Bronx and Brooklyn to me really, really need this program.
Mhm.
But yes, we are citywide.
Okay,
I
thank
can
you.
have some connections for you in the Bronx that you can test out. But I
Thank-
have to talk about that off
Offline.
here.
We
But
got a lot to do.
yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this meeting, everyone.
Well, thank you. I thank you for taking the time, and we're going to talk again.
Yeah.
We're going to get this information out. Committee members, I will get the information and share with you, and even within your households, your daughters or grandkids or niece, nephews, cousins, or whatever. Just share the information around. But thank you so much. I appreciate you giving us this presentation and taking the time out. And this will not be our last conversation, I will say. It will not, if I have anything to do with it. You'll probably have to block me, but
I told her she's my new best friend.
yeah.
All right, we got
Thank
work
you
to
so
do.
much.
So thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Have a
bye.
great night. Bye-bye. Okay, guys.
Gail, I have to leave. I had a knee replacement recently. So
Okay.
I
I hope you're feeling better, but
Yeah.
thank you, Ms. Mickle. Well, quickly before you leave, I wanted to go into, can we approve the minutes before you leave,
Okay.
Ms. Mickle? Let's do that quickly because we now have quorum. We have 6 members on, so we can quickly do the quorum. So, have everyone received the minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, are there any corrections that anyone wants to make? Any notations on anything that was said or not said? If none, I'm hearing nothing. Okay, can someone make a motion to accept the minutes? And can I get a second on that?
Okay, I, Timothy Davis, committee member, make the motion to accept the minutes from the month of March.
Thank you. Can I please get a committee member to second that?
Monica McCain Brown will second the motion.
Thank you, Miss McCain Brown. Appreciate it. Ms. Mickle, I wish you a speedy recovery and thank you for even taking the time to be on here with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Take care.
Okay. Moving ahead, our second speaker, and that was the reason I let Miss Selsford has to speak long. Our second speaker is not feeling well. Just a little info about her. I met Miss Bernard also at the breakfast meeting, and she has a modeling school or modeling agency, as you call it. She's a former model. She's of Trinidad and Tobago heritage. She's been in the industry for about, she said, over 20 years. And she has these programs for young women or young men. Yes, there are still young people within our community that, you know, likes the modeling aspects or wants to be a model. And, you know, her part of her program is giving guidance and advice to our young people, especially our Black girls and boys who are going to go into this industry and just trying to steer them in the right direction. But she got sick and she said she was coughing uncontrollably and she just couldn't be with us today. I think there's some other programs that she's trying to incorporate within her agency to young people. So she just wants to get the word out. But we will have her at another time. Moving on, unfinished business. So earlier in my report, I asked if anyone would be willing to be a judge for the spelling bee. You don't necessarily have to be a committee member, but if you come to our meetings, and what a judge is just, you know, the kids are given a list of words and in which they, you know, the various judges, as they come up, pronounce the, speaks the words to them, pronounce the words to them, and make sure that they're spelled correctly. In case of any disputes or any inconsistencies, if we have to vote or anything, we have 3 judges that, you know, we choose 3 so that there is a fair, if 2 people agree and 1 is not, you know, it's a kind of even it out with majority being ruled. So I just need 3 people.
Gail, what's the date of the spelling bee again?
We're looking for May 13th.
What time?
It will be 12 o'clock. We're using a school, so we have to be early because we are using, Sesame Flyers is trying to get us some space. See, this is where I would love to utilize the space at the Y. As you know, Rolanda just said we can utilize her space, but I just feel there's going to be pushback. My biggest problem with the spelling bee is trying to confirm space. And I wanted this to happen, especially in April, and just trying to get the space has been the most difficult for me in getting this off the ground because we have everything. How do you guys feel about that if it's out of the community? What do you guys think?
You'd have to provide transportation for we'd have to figure out how the kids
Well,
gonna get over there.
we don't provide transportation for them to
Yeah.
get. I know it's, you know, usually in one of the locations, but we don't usually provide
But
transportation
takes
for them to get
it takes
to
it
and
out of our
from.
district.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh.
the issue. Community board.
Mm-hmm.
So then the concept, yeah, you're going to get pushed back
Yeah.
because then it will be viewed as if we're taking our resources and utilizing it in a different community board.
Right. But only, or yes, but it's only open to our kids. but yet
Yeah,
still
but then
have
how do you
kids
enforce that?
in.
How
Right.
would you enforce that?
Well,
Because the premise of the YWCA is that they don't preclude anyone from attending, right? So then how do we say, well, only our kids?
only our kids,
Yeah.
it's a private event. I know I'm going to get pushback on it, but my biggest problem is getting space. I've been trying, I mean, since last year, I've put in for space at SUNY Downstate, and it's like they take forever to come back. I had put in, I think in November, I had asked them, because that's when I was thinking of doing it on Martin Luther King Day, and
Mhm.
I had put in like around November. They came back in December
Oh,
after
wow.
Christmas, and I'm like, that no, we can't do it. And then I put in another request again in back in January for April, and I haven't heard anything. Um, so
Because the 13th is also um, Haitian Flag Day, and there's going to be quite a few. Because that's the only reason why I didn't immediately put my hand up and say, well, yes, I'll do it.
right.
Because there's going to be a lot of all day event actually happening on the 13th.
Um,
There's a
yeah,
parade in the whole 9 yards going
yeah,
on.
there are a lot of things happening. So
Yeah.
you
So we need
know,
to we need to move sooner rather than later. So
yes,
you said you've spoken to Downstate and they haven't gotten back to you.
they haven't. Miss Frazier said she put in the date and they haven't gotten back
Hmm.
to us in regards to that. So, I've been Sesame Flyers I've been
Winthrop?
working with
Okay.
them because they have to be the programs in the
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and working with Keisha to get that. Excuse me. But it just makes me wonder, like, how far in advance can I put in for these things? And
Well, for schools, you need to do it at least 30 days in advance. For the other locations, I'm not certain because sometimes it takes longer, sometimes you get it immediately. So I'm not
right,
sure what the denominator is that makes it move and how it moves.
right. And I guess one of those things also is that, oh my goodness, is that they're also conducting programs on Saturday
Mm.
within the school. So my dates might be conflicting with them. Um,
And then
I,
utilizing the auditorium at the same time?
yeah,
Is that the premise? Oh,
I think
okay.
so, that they're
Okay.
using that. Um, I don't want to put it in a church because I don't want anyone to feel that there's more to it than there is, right? Someone, I can't remember who it was, Mr. Lewis, about his church, but it would be if the church had a hall,
Yeah,
a
if it's in the
community
hall, it's
space,
different. Yeah.
then that's fine. But doing it like in the church itself, in the
Yeah.
pub, yeah.
In the rectory, they won't, some of our neighbors, depending on their
What about the
Religions.
Clarendon
affiliation, they
Church?
won't come in.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Clarendon Church.
Yeah. Downstairs,
Alliance Tabernacle?
no, Clarendon Road Church.
So Alliance Tabernacle at Clarendon Road. Yeah.
Oh,
They
that,
renamed themselves
oh,
Alliance
they did.
Tabernacle.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Dr. Galbraith had said that if we needed to utilize the space downstairs, that we, just let him know. I'm just wondering if it's big enough. Because if you get too many people in there, it gets really intimate. And given, there are people that are still not over the COVID, um, the pandemic, and I just want people to feel comfortable and not feel like, oh, I'm sitting in this space where I can actually touch that other person's shoulder if I sit. So, um,
How many people are you expecting?
well, that's the thing. I don't know.
Because
Sometimes it could be 50, it could be 75. It depends, because what we have noticed is that when the kids come, the families come out.
okay, don't see as a Clarendon or a church you could fit 100 people without unhappy space. Because the maximum capacity is like I believe is 140 people downstairs. by,
That room
yep, that's
with
the,
tables and chairs?
yep. Well, no, the capacity limited by Department of Building Standard is 140, but you could fit 100 people, 100 people there with table and chairs easily. That's
Really?
yes.
Okay. Oh, well, what if I did
Well,
it?
look at it. Look at it right now. We have the senior center have like 13 tables there, which 10 chairs each. So
Right.
you
Or
know, so that,
maybe it's not, we don't necessarily need tables and chairs, that it can be like stadium seating, which then eliminates the tables and it gives you just more chairs and
give more,
space to
We
sit.
don't need
that would
table
be
and chairs for the judges, probably.
Right, just those to the front, but I'm
yeah.
talking in, you know, it would just be stadium
Yeah.
and we could set it up like that. Okay. Um, that may work. Okay. What do you guys are okay with that location? If we can, do you, any objections to that? Okay,
But
hearing none,
but
so,
No.
if you're looking at you're talking on May 13th, right?
yeah, I guess I
Uh,
would have to look back at the date.
yeah, you would have to check with the pastor as soon as
Mm-hmm.
possible, because
Yeah,
they have a lot of stuff going on around there,
yeah.
and you know what Saturday that would be of the month?
Second Saturday, I think.
That's
The
Mother's Day.
second, yes.
So,
So
Second
that's the
Saturday.
Saturday before Mother's Day. Ooh,
Ooh,
yeah, so it's
that's
much,
not gonna be, yeah,
Oh
because there's usually a
no,
Mother's Day
Mother's Day.
luncheon, isn't there?
They
Sorry.
have
yeah,
a Mother's
okay.
Day brunch. Yeah.
There's a Mother's Day brunch. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, this is April, May.
On the 20th, that's when the land use committee was talking about doing their oh shoot, the having an event where we talked about wills and basically generational wealth, and there's a whole event happening either the
Okay.
18th, 19th, and 20th. So I think the 20th is the only day that they have said yes, the Saturday, and
Okay.
either the Thursday or the Friday before that.
All right.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
either
I
the
may have to
20th.
go.
Oh, then that's Memorial Weekend. Okay.
Yeah, that's
The weekend after
Memorial
that, unless
Weekend.
you do it
Yeah.
before that, the 5th or
Um,
something. Sorry, the 6th.
yeah, I'm gonna have to, maybe the 6th. Today's the what?
Today's the 12th.
And the 12th. You know, I have the materials and everything just ready to go. But I felt guilty in a way, given such limited time for the kids to have the words to go over them. And you guys tell me what you think. Do you think a month is it's not enough time?
I'm sorry, we give the words to the kids ahead of time?
Yeah, we send them the words.
What? I wasn't aware that when I was doing spelling bees, I wasn't given the words ahead of time.
No, they
Yeah,
get
when
it
we
ahead of time.
first when we
Give them ahead
first
of time?
started
Oh my
doing
good
this,
Lord.
the committee said, yes, let's send the
Oh, that's
words
unfortunate.
to the kids.
And remember,
But
they
you,
have the ELA exam too. I think
yeah,
it's May. I forgot the
Mhm.
date.
but you know, the
I used
thing
to do
about it
spelling
is
bees and I didn't have, they didn't give me the words ahead of time.
it's unheard of, right? But
Wow.
this was something that on the inset that was voted on, that the kids, that we should share the lists with them. I mean, we can revisit this.
When District 18 had theirs, they gave them ahead of time.
They give them ahead of time.
So then how do you weed out the bunch? How do you
They
how do you
mess up.
thin
They
the
mess up.
bunch?
They weed out themselves.
Yeah.
So you give
Because
them the words and they still can't spell them?
Mhm.
So isn't that an indictment on the school system?
Miss Backerdine,
Miss Baptidine, I'm in agreement with you. And I think that's why too, we do have some problems with our students, sorry to say, because
Mhm.
again, you have to have certain things, certain standards, etc. And yes, we want the kids, we want them to have the ability to be productive, etc. But where do you draw the line? If you start
Right.
giving them everything, how are
They're
they?
ill-equipped for this world.
Right.
You're not
How
given
are-
everything when you're in the general
That's
population.
right. How are they going to maneuver this world? Because it's
Oh
a
my goodness.
dog and survival of the fittest world, and they're going to have to learn these things. So I'm in agreement with you. But if that's a decision that has been made and they say go ahead, well,
Then
let's
we
go ahead.
have to,
But
yeah,
it's service
okay.
to the children in the long run.
Indeed.
And as the way it's done, I mean, there are a lot of words, and the judges get to choose from the list. They can do it
And you know what? Some words are
chronologically.
phonetic and some words are not.
Yeah, but they do wean out themselves, and the words
Yeah.
get more
Always
difficult as it goes on,
have that.
right? As they get down. But I will tell you that the last one we had before the pandemic, I have to give my hats off to those kids. They went through those words. At one point, we were like, we're going to run out of words. There was just a core set of kids, and these were in 6th and 7th grade that were unbelievable.
Were they unbelievable if they had the words before?
They had them before, but just to see that they were able to spell some of them, we were like, oh, there's some of these
You know
words
what?
that
When
we as
District
adults ourselves couldn't spell.
18 had one
But
of the words that they bombed out on was ecclesiastic.
Mhm.
and sometimes these kids do make mistakes with
Yeah.
placing the
Okay,
vowels
because
and
I
stuff
missed
before.
only one C. And okay, okay.
Yeah, before
Okay.
that.
Mhm,
But
mhm, mhm.
I mean, this is something we can revisit. We can think about it, and I'll pose the question back again, because this is a new committee. This was something that was voted on years ago, just to see how everyone feels, and we can take it from there. I'm open to any suggestions you guys have. Works for me. I would love to hear the different thoughts on this. So it's now 8:57. Unfinished business was what I was asking. And I gave you guys the dates and stuff. Any new business that anyone wants to bring to the committee, things that you think we need to know, should do? Okay, hearing none. It's now 8:58 p.m. I will like to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Joan Alexander Bakrdine moves to adjourn the meeting at 8:58 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Bakrdine. Can I get a second,
George
please?
Tate seconds.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tate. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Enjoy the rest of your week and stay safe, please.
Okay,
Yes,
Thank
good
you
we
so
will.
evening.
much.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good night,
Good evening,
everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye.